Now we're going to talk a little bit about how much protein do we actually need. I mentioned on one of the earlier videos that America's really been in the state of the Atkins hangover. We have been eating more protein than anyone else in the world, yet we still remain larger than many of our friends overseas. There's a correlation here. The more protein that somebody eats, the more calories they eat, and frequently the more fat they eat. So we want to keep our protein intake in check. For those of you who have a metabolic disorder, anything from PCOS to diabetes to just regular old insulin resistance, which most of us do, you're going to want to be really strategic about your fats. About your proteins. You want to make sure that you're reducing the amount of fat in there, choosing those lean proteins, and then consuming them in a strategic way. We want to combine our carbs and our proteins in order to reduce calorie and to reduce the impact of our foods on our blood glucose. So if you, for example, are looking at a meal, you're choosing a lean animal protein, the handiest source for you to determine how much protein you need at that meal is just the palm of the hand. That works out really well because it also gets larger as we get taller. So our petite individuals might only see about 3 ounces, and a 3-ounce equivalent, whether our taller individuals are going to see a larger equivalent to that palm. So that works out pretty well. If you are looking at if you're looking at a plant-based source of protein, for example, the black soybean here, this has about 11 grams of protein per half cup. You're going to be more interested in your protein carbohydrate ratio. All right, so if you have a mixed source of protein, like this bean versus this bean, this one has 11 grams of protein to 8 grams of carb. This one, though, a regular pinto bean, has 10 grams of protein to 30 grams of carb. Each of them will fit. We're looking at having a protein to carbohydrate ratio of about 1 to 3 max. I could go 1 to 4 for some of you for breakfast, but most people are going to cap out at protein to carbs between about 1 to 3 maximum per meal. That works out pretty well here with this pinto bean. We have that exactly, all right, a 1 to 3 ratio. This one's even better. So we have 11 grams of protein per 8 grams of carbs, so that's a better choice. For those of you who had the animal protein here, if you had, let's say, a 3-ounce small palm, not my big man hand, but a smaller palm, you're going to be looking at about 21 grams of protein for every 3 ounces. So that's 1 ounce of animal protein per about 7 grams of protein. So you're going to be looking at combining that portion with a carbohydrate, hopefully a good one, and we'll get to that in another video. So in order for us to figure out how much protein we need at each meal, we've got to determine how many calories are we going to consume, what's the carbohydrate source, what else are we eating, and then that's going to give us a better idea. I'll work with you individually on determining those questions, or the answers to those questions, but in the meantime, start looking at labels and identifying your protein to carb ratio. Again, we're trying to max out at the very most at about 1 to 3. All right, L-Wellers, I'll see you on the next video.